passing the torch to his son. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has taken the Busch Series by storm with 6 victories and the championship points lead at the moment. But another young star is lurking. Matt Kenseth, just 97 points away, will use Charlotte to try and close the gap. Get set for the showdown. It's the All-Pro Auto Parts Bumper to Bumper 300 coming up next. The faithful are gathering at the heart of American stock car racing, NASCAR country, Charlotte, North Carolina, on the mile and a half. 2 big events here on TBS, starting with the All-Pro Bumper to Bumper 300, and tomorrow the UAW GM 500 Winston Cup race. It's going to be a great weekend of racing, as always, when the tradition continues at Charlotte. And the question is this young man, number 3, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Can he resolve it with a victory at Charlotte today and secure that championship? Let's go right down to pit road now and find out more about it.
Ken, 1997, Dale Earnhardt Jr. made just 8 starts. This year, he's already has 6 wins. More importantly, he's leading the points race. Dale, you race right down the road from where you grew up in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Your thoughts?
Well, it's always exciting to come to Charlotte. I've always loved to come watch races here. Humpy Wheeler's got him a great racetrack and a great group of fans here today on Saturday. So hopefully we got the AC Delco Chevrolet Monte Carlo running just right to take the field. It's a lot of good cars here today. We got a good handling car and a good qualifying car. So I think, we're going to keep our eye on Matt Kenseth, and we want to think about points, but we race to win, and that's what got us here.
All right, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. turns 24 next Saturday. Let's check in now with Alan Bestwick.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s rival for the NASCAR Busch Series Championship, another of the sport's rising young stars, is 26-year-old Matt Kenseth from Cambridge, Wisconsin, already 3 times a winner on the NASCAR Busch Series in 1998. He starts on the outside of the front row today. Back in May here at Charlotte, he knocked the nose off his car in an early crash, still came back to finish 5th. He hopes to wind up the afternoon in victory lane and gain some points in the championship race on Earnhardt. To Mike Hogwood.
Alan, we're talking about another up-and-comer. He's the pole sitter for this race, and it's Dave Blaney. It's only the 16th Busch Grand National start of his career, but he's not intimidated. He says he feels he has a car that can get to the front, and it can stay there for all day long, and that's what he plans to do. Dave Blaney in this series is the 22nd pole winner of the year. And, Ken, that's a Busch Series record.
Watch for the Buckeye Bullet today. Well, when it gets down to talking about competition, here it is, Earnhardt Jr. versus Kenseth for the championship and for a victory at the traditional most favored place, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And if it gets down to guts, heart, and determination, you'd better stay tuned, because that's what this event is all about. This 300-mile race, that test, if you can win on Saturday, now you got a chance to move on Sunday. And on Sunday's race tomorrow, you're going to see just a dandy here. But for today, last year, we saw one of the most spectacular finishes we've seen at Charlotte on this Saturday afternoon.
Ken, we really did. And, it's not just a support race anymore. This thing has a lot of prestige to win here in Charlotte. Let's take a look at Mark Martin and Jimmy Spencer going at it at the last part of this race, side by side, pushing and shoving, putting on a clinic of how to get around Charlotte Motor Speedway the right way. They respected each other. They had a great race right down to the finish line.
Donuts all over both cars when it was over. And when it was over, Jimmy Spencer was in victory lane, winning in the All-Pro bumper-to-bumper car in their own race. And he's trying to duplicate that feat today. Well, when you get to this race, you always talk about those young guys with heart and guts and determination. Back in 1977, that was some youngster nobody'd ever heard of out of Franklin, Tennessee. Remember you won your first of 5 races in this series here?
Yeah, I really did. This is a great race, and it is a great proving ground for young talent. Folks, what we got today is It's a college football game, if you will. We've got some freshmen, we got some sophomores, we got some juniors, we got some seniors. Bottom line is, although they want to win today because they know there's a lot of scouts, a lot of talent scouts in the garage area watching them. If they win today, they know they got a great chance of moving up into the Winston Cup Series tomorrow, and that's what most of these guys are trying to do.
Turn the barbecue down, and we'll turn the heat up on the racetrack at Charlotte Motor Speedway. With Darrell Waltrip and Buddy Baker, we're ready to call the action on what is always a dandy. Action just about to get underway. 4 races after this one. For the Busch Grand National Stars, the All-Pro Bumper-to-Bumper 300 is rolling in the first of its 2 preliminary laps. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's program. There's Dave Blaney's Pontiac up on the pole for the very first time, and Matt Kenseth, the Wisconsin wonder, flanking him. In row number 2 for today's action, there you've got Mike McLaughlin ready to do some work. And alongside will be Dick Trickle. In row 3, there's Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kevin LePage. For row 4, it's Todd Bodine and Dale Jarrett. In row 5, defending champion Jimmy Spencer and Mark Crowe. Row 6 is Mark Green and Elton Sawyer. And in row 7, Jeff Burton and Phil Parsons. Row 8, have Jeff Krogh and Ricky Craven. Going to row 9, Ed Barrier is there, who won at Hickory early in the season, and the former world motorcycle champion Kevin Schwantz. In row 10, Joe Nemechek, who won at Daytona and Talladega this season, flanked by Michael Waltrip. Row 11's an interesting one. Here you've got Tim Fedewa and his teammate Randy LaJoy. 91 points separates Fedewa in 5th from LaJoy. Row 12 is Mark Martin, a 5-time winner, equaling Waltrip's mark. That's Darrell, of course, and Joe Bessie with him. Row 13, Jeff Purvis and Mike Dillon. Row 14 will be Blaze Alexander and Ken Schrader, one of 10 Winston Cup drivers in today's field. Row 15, Elliott Sadler and Buckshot Jones is the way they qualified. Row 16, Hermie Sadler and Glenn Allen. Row 17, Tony Stewart, ran 3rd in this event a year ago, and David Green. Row 18, John Benson Jr. and Dave Resendez. Row 19, winner of this race back in 1990, Sterling Marlin and Mike Wallace. Casey Atwood, a youngster, 18 years of age, and Shane Hall. They're in row 20. The 21st row is Jeff Fuller and Jason Keller. And Steve Grissom rounds out the field. Now let's take a look at who failed to qualify, and this would make a race unto itself, gentlemen. On a lot of racetracks, you'd love to have a field that included guys like Rich Bickle and Jimmy Bound. Kerry Earnhardt didn't make it. This goes on. Andy Santerre.
Wow, that's the list that didn't make it, didn't it?
Jason Jarrett.
Both the Grubb brothers there, they missed the show. All these cars are
Andy
good.
Santerre, too.
A lot of them
Bobby
running
Ellis,
for points.
Those guys have all run very well this year.
Lance Hooper's no slouch. All right, let's take a look at the in-cars.
Dad's with
As we get
Fedewa
ready for the Shane
in the
Hall.
33
He's starting
still.
out back in the 40th position. He's going to be following the tail of the field, giving you these shots as we get ready to bring you this race. Kenny Schrader, a little further up, he's in 28th position. He ought to give you quite a ride
Good morning.
today. Now, Mark Martin is starting in 23rd. That's a ways back for him, but he'll shake it out in a hurry.
You've heard that song. It's just
Itchy
a matter of time. You
arms,
see
got
all those
bug
cars in
bites.
front of him, he'll catch them.
Yeah, he'll be right there when it counts.
Joe Nemechek starts in the 19th position. He has the makings. He's run up in front in 4 of these events.
Yeah, Nemechek always runs well here. Him, Spencer, and Mark Martin, those are all fast cars. Bill Parsons.
Starting 14th. In the back straightaway. 1,460 feet to run there. Come in that very tight, fast third turn. Matt Kenseth starting outside of the front row alongside Blaney. He has 3 victories to his credit this year.
He looks rather poised there, doesn't he?
Yeah, good
Just
runner,
kinda
26 years of age.
Got his hands
Out of
relaxed
Madison,
on the wheel.
Wisconsin. Posted award, $670,000. Got 200 laps to run. And the race record by Mark Martin at 155, almost 156. Pace car is coming in. We're ready to go racing.
Green flag is
On
out.
TBS today.
Gosh, this is
This
another
ought to be
little
some
bit of
fun.
a skipping
Now, a couple
video.
of cars had to go
I've
to
got
the
to get
back
it
as they
my
changed
my
equipment out
computer
here,
hooked
buddy.
up better.
Coming down to the line.
Well, a lot of them
With
got
the
in
new
trouble
thing.
here, but as they take the green flag, it's so important to get that good track position. into turn one.
Jeff Krogh had to go all the way to the tail end of the field for this
Okay,
one.
he's starting somewhere there
As
by
he had to come
Randy
up with a replacement
LaJoy.
car. Coming around to complete lap number 1. Height race for first place, buddy.
Yes,
I'm
and
sure I
Matt
don't have
Kenseth
other screens open. I thought I had
there.
one on.
That was very important. He led that first lap. He was leading when they come by. Now you see Dave Blaney fighting back on the inside, side by side as they head down the back straightaway.
Blaney sat on the pole at 177.
Hope y'all having a happy Wednesday. This will be a short stream.
Earnhardt Jr. is getting into the act right here. You know, I know kids has got to be a little bit nervous.
With everything going on, I still have to go get some groceries this morning.
Still got to make you nervous when you know you got to finish this thing.
Boy, that's 4 rocket ships as they head down into turn one there. You see Earnhardt Jr. wanting to get up there, trying to get those 5 extra points for leading the lap because Matt Kenseth has already done that.
One thing about this racetrack, buddy, when you go off into turn 1 particularly, or 3, I guess either way, when you're on the outside, the car down on the inside really gets loose, so you got to be careful.
As Earnhardt did, you can see he dropped back a few positions there. That's Kevin LePage making it 3 wide as they head down the front straightaway.
Mike McLaughlin holds a good, strong third. Look at this assault on the first turn.
Yeah, Blaney is just, you know, he's holding his breath right now, and I'm helping him. I'm holding it for you, bud.
Just a little sideways going into the corner. Earnhardt stepped off it, picked it up. We'll try again.
Everybody's fighting real hard for position right now, but I'm telling you, this is the most tense time of the race.
Jimmy Spencer as well trying to put little E1 spot back as Dick Trickle moves in on the quarter panel as they head down the straightaway.
From 9th position comes Jimmy Spencer on the attack, up into 5th.
I'm gonna shut my little Chromebook, see if it helps the quality.
For all the drivers, the cars are just on fresh tires, low air pressure, and you got to run side by side. It makes everybody really apprehensive.
Kenseth, McLaughlin, LePage, 1, 2, 3. Here comes Todd Bodine down to the inside in number 30.
Jimmy Spencer's on a mission right now, pulls in on the quarter panel of these 2 cars in front of him. Kevin LePage in the 40 out there on the outside. You see Todd Bodine has a very good race car. This is where you get in trouble in Charlotte. They're running under cars. A lot of times it'll pull the back of the car around on you.
That's the battle for 3rd spot. Steve Burns.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in a car that he likes very much, Ken Squire. They have 6 cars in their stable. They will go back upstairs.
No, that's going right up in the...
Bad crash. Looks like 7, 8.
Lots of cars. That's Mark down on the inside right here.
Blaze Alexander getting his car torn up. There's Martin's car badly crunched. Back to the line they come, and as they come across Kenseth first, McLaughlin second, and LePage third.
That was huge. There were a lot of good cars in that wreck, I believe.
Phil Parsons there. You can see a lot of damage to the front of his car as he goes down into turn 3 trying to get back to pit area.
I can't tell if that's Michael or brother Mike are not coming around there or not. It kind of looks like his car.
Not to be a 5th win today for Mark Martin.
Boy, Michael took a good lick. He's coming down pit lane. There's a lot of, look at the debris. This is a huge wreck. That's what I was talking about, Ken. Right now is the first 10 laps of a race are the absolute most critical times as far as trying to stay out of trouble.
Straight behind the wall.
Wasting no time. Looks like he's right back to the garage on that number 21 for Michael Waltrip.
Joe Bessie.
Joe Bessie's number 6.
Don't stand in those garage entrance ways. I know it's a great place to see because no one's standing there for a reason.
Pretty well.
Watch how fast he comes in if he goes inside. I mean, they're coming in like at 40.
First caution of the day came out of turn number 2. And let's look again.
Somebody gets sideways. There you go. I could see that car. It's one of the
number 80.
Mark Crow, one of the Crow brothers. And of course, Mark had nowhere to go.
Phil Parsons almost went over Mark Martin's car.
Got up on top of Mark, and here comes a whole bunch of other
Alexander
guys.
in the 20 there.
Piling in on top of each other. Nowhere to go. There's not anything you can do. You're running 170 mile an hour right there at that point.
And you can see visibility very, very poor as you come off that corner. This is actually good from high up. If you were down on the racetrack, you absolutely couldn't see the cars in front of you.
Here we go again. I think we're going to get another look at it.
There you see Parsons almost getting it on its roof.
Yeah, he launched that thing up in the air when he went up on Mark. So yeah, this is.
When Mark Krogh got down on the bottom, he come right back out into the real fast traffic on the high side of the racetrack.
Mark Martin being taken down with a couple of other drivers. Have a check out here.
Yeah,
they walked in and they look okay.
Everybody, I think, is okay. Everybody took licks, but nobody seemed to take a real, what you'd call hard lick, I don't think.
And that car that did the rebound high into the air, there you see Parsons, and it looks like they're still determined to get this thing back in. Let's go down on pit road.
Bobby Lashley, crew chief from Mark Martin. What did Mark say happened?
He said it was all right. Jack was spotting up there. He said somebody slid up and hit him. He had no place to go. I guess we'll just go home and fix it and go to Rockingham with it.
Short day for the 60
Rockingham's
car.
next.
We'll take a quick break and be back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway with more. Caution early in the going claims some of the favorites in this 300.
Charlotte Motor Speedway, the all-pro bumper-to-bumper 300. Hellacious wreck coming out of turn number
2 and lap number 7. And there are the remains of Mark Martin, a 5-time winner in this race. Car number 60. Another look, this from Joe Nemechek's in-car.
Seemed Fuller was in this number 42. Only 42 I know of. I'm thinking was a Zapco car. Maybe.
That red car was Phil Parsons. Watch Phil go over.
Boy, I tell you what. It don't matter how many years you've been out of one of these race cars, you can still feel that. Just the sound alone lets you know the violence that's going on in these race cars when you hit somebody at 190 miles an hour.
Yeah, it'd be like getting hit in the stomach real hard by
We miss Buddy,
Mike
don't
Tyson.
we?
Or
He was one of the good ones.
Vander Holyfield or somebody. You know, it hurt.
Let's go to Alan Bestwick.
Well, the Duraloop crew is trying to put tape Band-Aids all over Phil Parsons' car to get it back out there. Phil, what happened?
First thing I saw, one of the Crow cars was sideways in the racetrack, and we're all on the high side. I just passed Craven on the high side, and had nowhere to go. I was following Mark, and I got into Mark a little bit, and then somebody hit me pretty hard from the back. Hate it for Duraloop Chevrolet, but one of those deals, you got some guys that typically don't qualify up front, and then there may have been some contact to start the thing. I don't know, but you worry about stuff like that happening early in the race when there's some guys up front not used to being there, and that happens.
All right, we're trying to get out of the way while the crew goes and tries to align the front end on the car. Let's go to Steve Burns.
Thank you, Alan. Just before that big wreck, we were talking about Dale Earnhardt Jr. They have 6 cars in their stable. This is one of his favorite. He's won 2 races in this particular car. He is saying, however, the car is a little bit loose. Here we are in the pits. Just behind is the building back there. Those are condominiums. Dale Earnhardt Sr. is up there talking to Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the radio. He's telling him, he said, son, keep those tires hot during this caution period. Back and forth. Get the steering wheel back and forth to keep the tires hot. So Dale Earnhardt Sr., the 7-time champion, coaching his son here this afternoon.
Concern for Parsons. Parsons, 7th in points when this race started. Could be in trouble. Big. Real trouble for Phil Parsons. He came in here in 7th place in the points, 2 behind Tim Fedewa. And Fedewa, he came back on the track. He was involved in this incident. But that car's beaten up, and I think they may have it brought back on pit road. The pace car is coming in.
Oh, no. So they're out already? Oh, my God. My dad's out already.
I guess Nemechek lost the lap.
My dad's
over
car. That
relay
sucks.
too, he starts there
This is
on
going to
the
be a
inside.
long hour.
Got a good little jump on Kenseth
Lord
as
have
well.
mercy.
Back in 37.
We know he's fast, and he's probably got a good chance of getting that lap back.
As far as Fedewa goes, I'm noticing he's not smoking up to speed right now, and I'm sure NASCAR won't bother him as long as it's not obvious that it's maybe a hindrance to the competitors. He's got the full song down the back straightaway now.
Again, Martin, Parsons, Waltrip, Joe Bessie's back on the track.
He didn't lose a lap, apparently.
Where it started, he was about 10th. And
He probably dove in just not to lose a lap initially. They might not have had everything done. I know Dad'll throw him out to go around again and not lose a lap, if at all possible.
Well, Mark Marcus here. Mark, expected to see you closer toward the front, closer to the checkered flag. What happened?
Well, something happening out there, and the 80 car got backwards coming off a 2. And there's just so much traffic out there where I started that it just didn't leave me any option, you know. Winn-Dixie team had a good car for me. My car was working good. We were just working our way through the traffic, but you know, this is a fast racetrack, and with that many cars that close together, I really just didn't have any option once he got turned.
There you see Jimmy Spencer, last year's winner, working on the outside. That car, I wonder if he's as comfortable in that as he might want.
No, he's lost a couple of spots, actually. Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton
Swirl.
got by
Sorry,
in the
guys.
last couple of laps. So
This internet here is not like the Florida one, but everything else is better.
Look at LePage in number 40 coming on up in second spot, ready to challenge Wisconsin's Kenseth.
I gotta have my son put that Wi-Fi extender or something on, because it is occasionally a glitchy.
Todd Bodine is really on the move, as you said a while ago, Ken.
Yeah, Todd Bodine is having a very good run in this number 30. He's going to make it a mark to be with that 34 team next year. He's up in 5th spot. Earnhardt Jr. right there with him. Kenseth having all he can do to hold on to first place with LePage closing in on him. And here comes that number 3 down on the inside as it tries to challenge. Nemechek now dropped down a couple. Hey, Tony Stewart
37.
from 33rd up to 14th. He's on the fly.
Yeah,
We'll see if he moves up at all.
He passed a lot of cars on the outside on that restart and got a good restart. He's really coming forward.
I thought it looked like Crow come up in front of the 33. I thought he was the one that initially got him sideways. Barely. It seemed to me anyway. On one of the shots, I thought I saw the 33 coming off the back bumper of the Crow car.
Up in the condos just before that caution, my car gets very loose when there's a car next to me. So you are exactly right. The car's loose at this moment.
Well, the one thing they do here, adding to what Steve just said, is
38,
as you start out a
Bessie
little bit
passed
loose
him.
here, the car tightens up as you go along. When the air pressure gets
Looks
right
like
in
it's
the
going to
car.
be a long
What is
day.
a little bit
And he
miserable
was,
when you first start
would
back,
they
may
say,
get
6th in
comfortable for
points?
Earnhardt Jr. as he goes along.
What you'll find is
Coming
exactly
in.
what he's doing right now. You will try to
7.
find a place where there's nobody in front of you or behind you to give you all the clean air that you can have so that you don't have to race
I
anybody.
hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday.
Going for the lead.
I haven't been streaming for a couple days. Just been in one of my slumps. It happens.
Into that second spot.
Sometimes I run out of energy, but
Well, that first row alongside
I got some good sleep finally last night.
And you have McLaughlin still a good strong third, watching them right there. 21 laps now complete. LePage started in the 6th position
Cold
today.
pumps.
And he's been having some very good runs in this car recently.
Well, he won at Bristol this year.
Pretty
and,
car.
You know, he's just done a great job of turning this around. It's been a good race car, but his influence as far as what you do to it to make it handle has really paid off for this race team.
What I've noticed is he's always qualified very well in that car, but what he's doing now is racing much better. I think that comes with the help of Jack Roush and that organization, telling him what he needs to run 300 miles in this case and 500 miles on Sunday.
Ken, as you see Tony Stewart there in the 44 come along there and get by Nemechek, he was the quickest car in the last practice yesterday. He said he really loves this race car and is doing everything he wants it to do as he moves forward as we speak.
He has come all the way from 33rd up into the 13th position. And right now he's looking for Jeff Purvis in that number 4. Jeff Purvis gets
Open up my database here and just get kind of a glance at what this race is and who's in it. I mean, you can see who's in it, but I look at the database that says who owns the cars and stuff because I'm psychotic that way.
The better his car was going to be. He said, I want to see it get overcast. I want to see it get gray. If it does, I'm going to be hard to beat today.
Richard Lassiter, the crew chief on that rig there, a good combination.
You know, this racetrack is one of the most weather-sensitive racetracks that we race on. One of the reasons why, as the sun sets in the west, the third and fourth turn, the sun just beams on that turn and really heats it up.
Look at this, Earnhardt Jr. now moving in on his front trio here as he comes to the bottom of Mike McLaughlin down the front straightaway to move into third spot. That race car is now coming to him. He reported that it was loose the first couple of laps. Now he's moving forward.
Just behind him, Jeff Burton, fifth with number 9. This is the fifth race LePage has led this year with a channel lock car in that front running position, but all eyes are on this man. We're talking about him as the great hope for all of those who don't care for Jeff Gordon. They say wait till next year. Only 5 Winston Cup races for Earnhardt next year, Earnhardt Jr. They'll be interesting ones.
So 1998 Charlotte.
First, Earnhardt has moved to second on this mile-and-a-half track. Buddy Baker can tell you about it.
Down the front straightaway, through the dog leg, 195 miles an hour, down into turn 1, very low through this part of the racetrack. As you head down the back straightaway, right against the wall.
It's the October
speeds
race.
close to 190 miles an hour. Then back low, getting into turn 3, there's bumps along there that can upset the car. Coming off turn 4, right out against the wall, and then through the second part of the dog leg and back to the start-finish line.
That's just how Dale Earnhardt Jr. is covering that track up into second spot. He has moved around Kenseth. Kenseth just moved over and let him go.
Yeah, he really did. That's smart right now. It's too early to race, so he just let him go.
Okay, Jason Gibbs' car is what he's driving.
The less than 2 car lengths back, the center part of the corner, this 3 car, watch him close in on LePage as he gets to the center part of the corner.
You know, we watched Junior over here in the spring race, had a really fast car and got in trouble off turn 4, so I'm sure Big E is up there telling him, hey, man, take it easy. It's a long way to go.
But get those 5 points while you're up there.
Yeah.
All right, Tim's still running, and actually he's going to get a decent, he's going to finish 21st. So they kept on digging for the points, you know, even though they were involved in that lap 1 wreck.
More than he might want at this early point in the race.
Jeff Burton now moving in for the 3rd spot there.
Where did Randy finish?
That's the story right now. He's on the move. Jeff Burton takes 3rd there, as you can see, as they come into action there. Matt Kenseth
Fuller will finish 15th. LaJoy will finish
number 9, Jeff Burton, picking his way
20.
up through. Now he's 3rd.
9.
First, Earnhardt 2nd, Burton 3rd.
Wow.
Kenseth, followed by McLaughlin, Bodine, Green, DeCrickle in 8th. Spencer in 9th.
Oh no, Tim will finish 30th. Randy will finish 29th and 30th.
He has passed Purvis, Sawyer, and Blaney in the last 3 laps. There is a mission.
176, so he was down.
Yeah, Ken, a moment ago we talked about Dale Earnhardt Jr. being loose.
24
the
laps.
back end of the car wants to come around his corners. Matt Kenseth has the opposite problem. His car is tight. He says, especially coming off, which means as he exits the turn, the front end of the car wants to push up towards the racetrack. So 2 drivers fighting different
And
conditions.
LaJoy will be down
2
20
drivers
laps.
fighting the same condition right now. Trying to take over some territory.
Long day for the boys.
Position. The guy that did it is Earnhardt Jr.
Fuller will do good though. And that one-off ride with Jason Gibbs.
You can see he's pulled about a 4-car length advantage as they head down into turn 3.
Here comes Jeff Burton looking for 2nd spot. To the inside, Burton, who's come so close to winning this race and having it slip away from him, side by side.
This will probably be the year that Dale Jr. wins points, I'm
Jeff
thinking.
Burton is going to take over in 2nd position. Think he's ready to challenge yet?
Well, he may be. The thing you got to look at there is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Those are all Roush drivers. And so they're going to work together, obviously. And the thing of Dale Jr., once he gets in front like he is right now, you can usually turn out the light. They got a great pit crew. Once he gets that good front gets out front, gets good track position, he's pretty hard to beat from there on.
6 career wins for him, 97 points ahead of Matt Kenseth. As they came into the afternoon, Earnhardt Jr. now leading in this All-Pro bumper-to-bumper 300. There's the guy that can easily take it away, Jeff Burton.
Well, he's got to do what Mark normally does. You know, Mark's out now, so Jeff's got to step up here and carry the banner. So that's Ford against Chevrolet, and he's closing down a little bit.
You see, Matt Kenseth has gotten by the 40 car there of Kevin LePage now. He's moved into 3rd spot, so he may just be biding his time. There is a big picture here. They're racing for a national championship, and Kenseth may be just riding it out right now until he can adjust on the car.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it, buddy. When he lifted there on the back and let Earnhardt Jr. go by, that tells me one thing. He has a pretty good car, and he's taking care of it. And no need to run that hard right now. He's got the leader in sight. And as you say, the big picture, that's the whole thing.
Kenseth, a lot smarter than his 26 years might lead you to imagine.
Well, he does. He has a really good head on his shoulder. Got to remember something. He's I don't know who his spotter is, but Jack's up there spotting for some of those guys, and I'm sure Jack knows how to win a championship, or he can help Kenseth in that area.
Parsons going another lap down in the 10. Kenseth, interesting, went into Artco and right off won a feature event at La Crosse years and years ago. Some unknown kid named Mark Martin did the same thing here at La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yeah, now some kid named Adam Petty is following in some of those same footsteps. So,
and there's a kid named Casey Atwood, only 18 in this race. Now look at this. Here comes Stewart in the 44. He's under Spencer. And that pickoff is going to put him into 7th spot. From out back. Well, outside the front 30, Tony Stewart is blazing away.
You could see Jimmy Spencer there. The car would go in the corner and right up to the high part of the racetrack. That means it's not turning for him, and he's really struggling right now to keep any kind of corner speed up with this race car.
Yeah, and we know that car is capable of winning here. It almost won. He won here last fall, and he almost won here in the spring till he lost the cylinder right at the end of the race. So he'll get that thing dialed in, and he's still going to be a factor for the day's over.
Now, there you see those on the move, and Stewart certainly is one of them. And Sterling Marlin, who had an awful time. He had trouble hearing box, and they fiddled around for a couple of days before they got that where they wanted it. Apparently, it's where they want it right now. He's really clipping them off. Marlin getting back into this race. Sterling Marlin's come from 37th right up into the top 20. Been competing in this event since before you won it in 77. He was here in 76. My goodness, you guys are getting old. Marlin
Oh, yeah. Well, you're getting younger, Kim.
Yeah,
but
right.
Nevertheless, let me tell you about Spencer. It's hard to sit up here and tell whether he's loose or tight, but he definitely has a handling problem right now.
Yeah, I think he's pretty tight. The way he runs up to the, he'd like to run high right now, but the track's not quite ready for that. It's still a little gray up in that high groove.
McLaughlin is having a good day, and that number
Just
34
reading something.
continues to just make his own race. He'll be around for a while. He could be a real factor.
Hope y'all doing okay this morning.
300.
A little low key. Kids sleeping. He's got to get up and go to work here at 9.
The Busch Grand National cars in the All-Pro bumper-to-bumper 300 have completed 47 laps thus far. And coming up next, 200 laps done here, we've got the road to the championship, that final hour of tuning and prepping for tomorrow's UAW GM 500. Going to be a great race tomorrow. You'll get all the inside information today, right after this race, when we follow it live on TBS.
Boy, it's interesting to watch these guys really get in there. And
I think Dale Jr. was really good driver and stuff, but I don't think he was having a whole lot of fun back in them days. It was so serious and so competitive. It was so hard to be fun. It's kind of cool to see him running the Cars Tour now, because it really looks like he's having fun
White and blue, number
doing
34.
that.
But the guy on the go is back here in this number 44. Tony Stewart just coming into the picture. That's the interval and the time he's got to make up, and he is flying. He is saying, what did he say? That car was tight and center.
Can any of my phones keep a charge?
That's not very much. That's not very far or very long in the corner. He's good in, he's good off. A little tight through the middle. This means he can't get back in the gas quite as quick as he'd like to, but that's a good, comfortable car to drive.
There you see those standings. Earnhardt, Kenseth up on top. They both have 13 top 5 finishes in the 26 races today. McLaughlin 258 back. Something really untoward in the final 4 races after this afternoon here at Charlotte would have to happen to take those front pair out of this thing. Mike Hogwood give us a little more information on that second place car of Jeff Burton, number 9. You see it there.
Tommy Morgan, his crew chief, just told me a moment ago that Jeff is complaining right now, says the car is too tight. They have had problems with the weather and the car changing just like everybody else. But now that the sun is out, they really believe that the sun coming out and staying out for a little bit is going to free that car up and is going to enable Jeff Burton to get up there and challenge Dale Jr.
My nose started running like a faucet. I had to get off camera real quick. I'm still here, though, in the chat.
Sway bar is a big factor. You got a big bar in, overcast conditions will make the car drive a little better. You got a small sway bar in, the car will drive better when it's a little slicker.
Notice that Kenseth was right there. You see the lap number 66 in the midst of things. Elliott Sadler, he lost his primary car yesterday morning, slapped the wall right here by the start-finish line.
Yeah, just several laps ago, but he kept on going. He hadn't had to pit.
Talking about that, he brought a gold car out here and was not really getting around. They thought this car may be the answer, but as you can well see, Elliott Sadler is way off the pace already.
Oh yeah, I hope that's all. Holy crap. I had an asthma attack in the middle of the night. I was going to check my Fitbit, see what time or whatever. I don't even remember. I think it was before midnight.
He just thrashes through these guys right now. You can see there's no ill effects to the 3 car of Earnhardt Jr. when he goes through the corner. It just looks like he's on a rail around here.
The thing about a young guy like him and having kind of the genes that he has, he gets in a rhythm. And when you get in that rhythm, you don't really drive that hard, but you go faster. It's that old slow down and go faster adage. Once he gets out front and he can get himself paced, he's got a great spotter in Ty Norris. He's got a dad down there telling him, run this line, run that line. He is being extremely well coached.
And Ty Norris is coaching him right now. Move under this lap car. They come down into the main straightaway. Here he comes under the Shane Hall. Mark Martin is already out of this event. Guy who has been such a factor in the past.
Oh yeah, I see my heart rate
back on lap number
at
7 at the outset of this event.
2:55 a.m. shot up. That must have been. I was in a sleep. Like it went from
175 mile an hour walk.
I was watching
58,
the race and I jumped off my stool.
60, 62. I mean, 58, and it shot up to 119, my heart rate. So that was when I had my asthma attack.
Driving for Busch.
From a dead sleep, I just woke up gasping. I hate that. But I got in here when it was everywhere.
Is that all of his crew, all the Busch crew is going to go to Winston Cup. When he moves, he's going to take Tony Uri Sr. and Jr. with him, and I think
it's allergy triggered, so I don't know.
Family. I mean, they're part of the Earnhardt family, and these guys were brought up with Dale. Uri Sr. was brought up with Dale. He's been with him for years now.
Moving from Florida to North Carolina, there's a lot more calling out right now for Golden Rod and everything that they don't have in Florida. So it might take me a bit to get used to
Charlotte Motor Speedway made a real effort to get Earnhardt Jr. into the Winston Cup qualifying for tomorrow. And they respectfully declined. They're waiting for next year. But of course, Dale Earnhardt Sr. ran his first race right here in this event at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Casey Atwood, let's see how he's doing.
Yeah, there's another young kid that, let me tell you, with the right equipment and the right situation, Casey Atwood could be right up there with Dale Jr. So there's a lot of potential young drivers in this series right now that could make great drivers for the future.
And we're the number 63 car.
Racing is a great life as long as you have fun and don't crack up. What I mean by crack up, there are so many good things about racing and so many bad, and you gotta just keep your focus on your racing, your family,
we're running real good on long run.
your image.
I was running long run and got behind Mark Martin and picked up 2 or 3 tenths. He just I learned a lot just following him around. So it's been I'm just learning everywhere we go. You know, I haven't been to all the tracks, and every time I go somewhere, I'm just learning for next year.
Boy, oh boy. You know what
looks like
that tells me? He said, I followed Mark Martin. I learned from that. That means he's out there getting an education. He's not out there just riding around.
But he looks like he should be putting the scrapbook together, collecting bubblegum cards. He's such, I mean, he is so angelic. You talked to him.
Yeah, I asked him in Nashville when he run a great race there. He and Dale Earnhardt Jr. battled for the lead all night long there. I said, do you even shave? He said, I
angelic.
do once a month.
That's interesting.
He's a nice kid, and I tell you, Nashville, Tennessee is no bad place to learn how to race.
And he's sure getting it done. He's cutting a nice line this afternoon. Earnhardt Jr. stays first. Burton second. Kenseth third. Bodine is into fourth. McLaughlin is
I'm going to
fifth.
go off
We're
screen
take
one
a
more
break. We're
time. I just want
laps
to
deep into this event
do a
at the
few
Charlotte Motor Speedway.
things. Actually, I don't even need to go off screen. I'll just mute. I'll be right back.
Hey, that'd be a fun ride. In the All-Pro bumper-to-bumper, having the most fun right now is Dale Earnhardt Jr. He leads over Burton and Kenseth, second and third. Todd Bodine is in fourth. And I got to tell you, taking a look as of now, that would be the point differential, 112. Kenseth's fallen back a little. I tell you, we have two cars on pit road. Oh, that's Ricky Craven in the New Holland, number 2.
You can see the brakes smoking as he come in there.
Yeah,
he really used the brakes hard. He probably run wide open so he come off turn 4.
See that guy right there? He needs to smoke him a little bit more because he didn't have her slow enough.
He was hoping for a good run today.
Yeah, they held him 15 seconds. He was a speed.
Stewart has just flown. He's just gone around Kevin LePage. He knocked off Spencer. Then he took LePage, and Stewart is up to 6th from 33rd as Nemechek pulls onto pit road.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I'm not sure what Kevin's deal is, LePage. He always runs good early, but he seems to just kind of back up. Speaking of it, here he comes into pits now.
Yeah, he needs to make some adjustments on the chassis. He had really started falling back in a hurry there.
Buckshot Jones has been running 13th on pit road.
By the way, Larry Pearson will be driving this 00 next year in the Grand National circuit.
Now here's Kevin LePage coming in.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
The Buckshot's moving up to Winston Cup, so that's a real good break for Larry Pearson.
It really is. That'll be good for him.
Now Stewart is in 6th position from 33rd. He has gone around Kevin LePage with Mostry just before LePage pitted. And he is still the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, and David Green there in the 36 has really took a pretty hard lick on the left front. The car is about as aerodynamic as a brick with a hole in the center. But right now, he's just hanging on, trying to get those points.
And the other car that has made some big moves is Ken Schrader. He started in 28th. Ken Schrader is up into 8th.
Yeah, Kenny's been doing it. I watch him every now and then, get a glimpse of him, and he's making a good forward progress.
So Earnhardt stays up in front, Burton in second, Kenseth in third. And this car, number 44, the Joe Gibbs rig, in 6th position now. Pit stops beginning to take place, and he's taking advantage. He's getting pretty good range on that car as well.
I talked to the coach this morning, Coach Gibbs, and he said as soon as Tony gets a little more experience, he's going to be all right. He's just got to get a little bit more seat time.
Stu and STP whip around right now.
Having a great day. Todd Bodine having a great run in the 30 car. It's a brand new car for these guys, or at least a rebuilt car. It was torn up in a wreck at Nazareth, and that was before Todd Bodine signed on as the team's driver. They completely rebuilt it. Todd Bodine says it is a great car. To Alan Bethel.
Tony Stewart says as the sun has gotten brighter and the temperature has increased a couple of degrees, his car has gotten even better. He's really on the move after starting deep in the field. They expect to
I could tell by those mile-per-hour speeds. Theodore was 10 miles an hour off pace. So he is out there just running for points. He will be passed quite a bit. Fuller's up to 19.
I sure did.
It's a cool 65 degrees here in the mountains of North Carolina.
I won a lot of them back
hope it's pleasantly
Got
warm.
100 miles down. The pole sitter Dave Blaney first through the 10th lap, led big crash in lap 7.
I'm jumping back and forth between
Then Dale Earnhardt
my
took
vanity in here. Doing girly things.
77 laps are complete here.
I'm watching the race.
Of the All-Pro bumper-to-bumper 300.
Young Mr. Kenseth out there.
With 77 laps down, we're 115
Mr.
and a half
Burton.
miles deep in the event.
Jeff
We've
Burton.
just seen Earnhardt Jr. and Burton on pit road, and Burton got boxed in.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was leaving his pit box way back here in the middle of the pit lane.
There he is.
Pit
You can see the 74 car
Oh,
there.
there's
The
77.
Joy's in. My dad's in the
Here we go.
Phoenix
I
pit.
looked up
Just,
and he was in
oh,
somebody
Jesus.
else's pit box.
That's
Just in
it
front
there.
of
You're in
him.
the 77. They made contact.
Having
there.
a
He's
rough
lucky to stay
day.
out the
They
inside
were
wall.
involved in an
Well,
incident
he
that
didn't. He's coming back.
was on lap 1 when a slow car got sideways in front of the field.
77 of barrier. Oh, that's going to hurt the 9.
And he was
That
the
is a
first car
tough
to
one.
hit him.
Now Kenseth, who has been leading, he comes down on
Barely.
the pit road. Tony
to
Stewart
ruin their
pulled in.
day.
For a moment, we thought that he'd been caught for speeding, but he came right back out in 44. Here's Kenseth in. Outside front row starter, Dave Blaney started the day on the pole. Spencer is backed up. He is now shown as 19th. Steve Burns.
And Matt Kenseth, they're making a chassis adjustment to the right rear of the number 17 car of Matt Kenseth. He's also going to get 4 Goodyear tires, gasoline going in. Now, Kenseth, remember, complained that the car's a little bit tight. So let's see how this chassis adjustment works. 19.3 seconds for Matt Kenseth.
Got a new leader, Dick Trickle, number 64 for a moment. Now he's pitting. We're at lap 80. 200 laps the distance. We're at lap 80. We had one major caution, and the only caution thus far was that hellacious wreck up in turn number 2 that eliminated Mark Martin and took several others down. Phil Parsons is out here, but badly beaten up. Vessey's car was crashed. Fedor's car was beaten up. Let's go back to Steve Burns.
And Dick Trick was getting service. They also made a chassis adjustment to the right rear of his car. He's getting 4 tires. A couple of crewmen from Ernie Irvin's Wichita Cut team helping out down here on the Dick Trickle automobile. A little bit slow on the left rear. 24 seconds even for Dick Trickle.
You know, I was just noticing Kenny Schrader come in the pits and they had the hood up on his car. He had moved well up into the top 10 there, and all of a sudden he's having trouble. Looks like he may go behind the wall.
Oh, 8th. Come from 25th to 8th position for Schrader. He had a second here in 91 to Harry Gant, and he was looking for a really good day, but that's all turned gray.
You know, as this thing goes along here, I'm starting to think that somebody that's we don't even aren't even talking about is going to win this race, because it seems like every good car, every front runner, it runs into a problem somewhere along the way here.
Well, for the moment, Shane Hall has won. How about that one?
And I've done a few of these races this year, but I don't recall him leading many races, if any.
Kenseth has come up to second. David Green is being shown in third. You see, that would mean that Hall and Green have yet to take on fuel, and fourth would be Earnhardt. Fifth is Bodine in his shakeout, then Dillon and Stewart. Stewart in 7th, followed by McLaughlin.
Yeah, I think Kenseth had a really good pit stop. A 19-second stop for a Busch team is pretty fast, so he obviously got out ahead of Junior.
Robbie Reiser and all the guys did a great job. Look at this suspension cam here. Look at this right front. You think it don't take a beating as it goes down in the corner. You'll see a lot of flex. The tire pulls over to the inside of the race car there, actually preloading that tire as you head in the corner. A lot of movement there. That shock's getting a good workout also.
Those pictures from Shane Hall in that number 85. That suspension system work. You can see the car itself.
Shows you kind of how rough the racetrack is, Kenny. Those big spikes there, those big movements are bumps in the racetrack.
Well, he led 18 laps up at New Hampshire. Shane Hall may be turning things around.
Also, you see the yellow part of the
I'm watching
there. That's the spring itself. The other black part there, when you hear
how long the tire is
It's
pressed
actually a
into
shell
the
that
track,
goes in
you
there to
know.
make the spring
Now,
stiffer.
the reason he's still out there is he pitted in that first caution when in lap 7 we had that big wreck and we went to lap 12. He pitted around lap 10 or 11, so he's got a little extra fuel. Let's go back to Alan Bester.
Well, Ken, you
talked about Ken Schrader's being on pit road just a minute ago. The engine started skipping on the Oakwood Homes machine. He's taken it back into the garage after running all the way from 28th into the top 10. He is now done for the afternoon.
Lonely looking place, isn't it?
Well, you see his helmet hanging there. That's the end of the road. That's Sterling Marlin there in the number 1. He's moving up as we speak.
11th, Mike Hogwood.
Interesting.
Jeff Burton had a great plan. Come in early, make that chassis adjustment, stay up front. But on the way off pit road, he ran into Randy LaJoy. He had to come back in. They had to pull the sheet metal off the right front. Lost valuable time here in the pits.
I believe that was Barrier in the 99.
Actually ran into both of them.
Yeah.
LaJoy caused him to stay out of line there.
It rained for 3 straight days here. I don't know. National Weather Service didn't really get that one right. I know that we didn't get the center of the storm, but we got a lot of rain.
They can replace it, but by the time they do, it'd be way out of contention.
All right, we'll take a commercial break at lap number 86. Remind you tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, 12:35, our pre-race show for the UAW
So
GM
it got me behind on a lot of things. After I go get a few groceries today,
for a look at racing right from the driver's seat, the in-car camera.
After I get a few groceries, I gotta get gas. I'm gonna try to blow these leaves if they dry enough all around the camper. I didn't blow them before the rain because they said we weren't getting any rain. But we got rain. So I gotta blow a bunch of leaves off of the top of the RV. And maybe if I have enough energy, I'll wash one side with bleach. I think it's supposed to be rain-free for a couple of days now. Maybe.
This Saturday in October.
You're looking at
and a little cooler. It feels nice. Don't have to run the AC.
He's cleared this traffic just behind him, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. is right in the middle of a lot of...
Sleep with your windows open.
He's having a hard time getting by.
In fact, I should open my window. Had it shut because I didn't. The rain could run in. I don't mind. We have enough water, seepage.
Actually, about 10 or 11 laps. So we have Kenseth back in front.
Those are all things that needed maintenance so long that
for the moment is in
Florida I could not do it.
Championship on the line. Is the pressure on the leader Earnhardt Jr. or Matt Kenseth? Matt's perspective.
There's two ways of looking at it. You know, if you're behind, you don't have too much to lose and you're going to race as hard as you can. You know, if you're ahead, you might be afraid of the guy behind you catching you. So I don't know. I personally would much rather be ahead. I'd rather have a 97-point advantage and, you know, worry about the guy behind me catching me than to be behind and being a guy having to catch, you know, somebody as good as Dale Earnhardt Jr. and you know, a team as good as his.
97 points behind is Kenseth for the number 3 car in second place.
Yeah, I think something's wrong with the 3 car. He's gotten passed by a couple of cars. He can't go forward right now, and it looks like the handles come off of that thing. It's pushing up in the middle of the corner, looks to me like.
Daryl, we have trouble in turn 2. Jason Keller hard into the outside.
Oh, Jesus, he almost clipped him.
Second caution of the day comes at lap number 95.
Vito has got a lot of damage. I saw him go by.
And that number 57
Fuller's up to
getting across that
19.
track by a hair breadth. It looked like he
They
was
didn't
going to
show
get
much
tagged.
about that car.
Back
Being
to
a
the
Gibbs
line
car,
they
I'm
come. We need to get
surprised.
an update here on this Earnhardt Jr. situation. He maintained second position, but for sure the cars in that lead lap were closing on him. Bodine in the number 30 was knocking on the door, and Tony Stewart in 4th place, number 44, becomes more and more a principal player in this production this afternoon of the All-Pro Bumper to Bumper 300 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. There you see that 57 in on pit road. Jason Keller. Boy, has he got a story to tell tonight at dinner.
Down up there, and he said, I'm here.
We're back back with you live. We're listening to the lies. Waldrop and Baker up here just telling stories. Anyway.
Baker knows too much. I may have to kill him.
Pit stops. I like this part.
No. Let's take a look at what caused the caution.
See Jason Keller there in the red and white car.
He just
gets
got
loose there, gets into the outside wall, scrubs it pretty hard there.
Yeah, he just got up there a little high. Might have gotten in that loose stuff. It's still a little dirty up at the top side of the racetrack.
Darrell, as you well know, there's no such thing as easy into this wall.
No, right.
Yep.
Hey, the cars in the lead lap are down to 14, and of those 14,
Look at all those
did not come onto pit road.
bleachers there. I think they ended up in Daytona.
As you mentioned, they were in a few moments ago.
Because I noticed in Daytona they got all these different multicolored bleachers that look like people, like just random.
Now you guys talked about the 3 cars slowing down a little bit. On the last pit stop, they put on a set of scuffed tires. Now, we often hear about stickers. Let me show you the difference. This is a sticker tire. It comes from the manufacturer. They refer to this sticker. Now, a scuffed set of tires has already had a few laps on them. Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't like that last set. They came in, put another set of scuffs on. So we'll see how the car handles. Now, let's go to Alan Bestwick.
Jimmy Spencer been fairly well back in the field, on the lead lap, but back in the field for most of this first part of the race. Well, his crew took only right side tires on that stop in an attempt to get him track position. He came off pit road in 4th spot. To Mike Hogwood.
Well, Mike McLaughlin did not pit. He wanted the ultimate track position. He wanted to lead this race at halfway. He says his tires are good. He thinks he can hold those behind him off. And his crew thinks that this is the big move that's going to put 34 out in front. They hope it's to stay.
They're a lap away from halfway as they come by right now. They'll have gone halfway next time around. As we get toward that time, we've had 6 different leaders. The lead has changed 8 times.
Where we've tucked in the RV, we only have enough room to pull out maybe 3 feet of the awning because there's a tree instead of opening it the full 8 feet.
You saw that sticker tire.
Well,
that tire hadn't been through a heat cycle yet.
we had it braced up pretty good, but when it rained, something like it filled with water.
It's gone through a heat cycle
All of a sudden, it heard bang. And I look, and Chris jumped up, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. I thought he fell out of his sim chair because he was driving. He thought I fell off the bed, but it was actually the awning all of a sudden slammed shut.
Mike McLaughlin's.
To get the halfway money, you got to be. I think when it
quite
comes under caution,
interesting,
you got to
but,
have. They got 5 green flag laps.
We worked on that
actually
yesterday, so that's a little more secure.
To get the halfway
Still
money.
not
But it's a smart
ideal,
move on
but
his part. He's
better
gonna
than
get 5
nothing.
points for leading the race, and he's still
At
holding on to
least
3rd place.
And
where
as
we
the
park our car
situation
over here,
develops,
we
you'll have
walk
Kenseth
up
in 2nd,
to
Earnhardt
the
Jr.
door.
in 3rd.
Our door is
Spencer
in the rear.
lining up in 4th on the restart, followed by Todd Bodine,
So,
Tony Stewart in 6th, LePage in 7th.
At least we have a
Sterling
walkway
Marlin
that
in 8th,
will be
Jeff
dry
Purvis in
now.
9th.
I mean,
And Buckshot Jones
was a
rounds out the
friggin'
top
mess
10
yesterday.
as they bring him down, completing 101 laps and going back to green.
blow the leaves and burn some leaves this afternoon. And if I'm real ambitious, I'll Swiffer with some bleach this side of the RV. The one side I didn't get done in Florida. I did 2 sides, the front and that side in Florida. This spring, and this side
it didn't work.
I didn't do because I did that last. Like I can't do the whole thing, so I do one side, then the other side, then the next one, then one side, then the other side.
Either everybody else has slowed down or he speeded up an awful lot.
Even across for a moment to 3rd, Earnhardt Jr. digging on the inside, Spencer working through.
Boy, Spencer is all over the back of.
When I get paid, I gotta buy some a bow saw so I can cut some limbs that are kind of hanging over the RV. So we won't have to worry about any tree branches falling this winter. We get ice storms here.
Yeah, that's what it was. I knew the tires were smoking.
Guys, we got a little bit of a tire rub. Look at it.
Probably
on the
low air
left side
pressure.
there.
It may go away. Sometimes it does.
How soon do you get built up?
Well, you get a pound a lap.
Ooh, that's
there
a lot
for
of rub.
the first 10 laps.
Well, there's Earnhardt. He's really showing some smoke off
Kind of
there.
acting
And
like
here's
there's
Tony Stewart
something
down
in the
there,
rear
taking a
suspension
peek on the
kind
inside.
Tony the Tiger looking him over there. The 44 car is definitely one of the quickest cars on the racetrack right now. You see Earnhardt showing a little smoke. Like you say, Darrell, if that is air pressure, it better go away pretty soon because that is
It's in the
running pretty hard.
turns.
Earnhardt Jr. in the number 3, followed by Stewart.
I want to see these rear tires come off the ground over here and spin.
Let's take a look at that.
Watch this. Watch Spencer. We got to back. We got to back up a little bit more. That's after he got by. Yeah. I thought we might. You can see the smoke. You can see the tire ribbon, and that's tire flex. What we looked at on the right front a while ago, it goes the opposite way on the left rear. It pulls out into the body.
About half a lap before that was when those two had their little meeting down in turn number 1.
I thought Spencer lifted him up off the ground and his tires were spinning.
Kenseth first, McLaughlin second, Spencer third, Earnhardt fourth.
Good call, Darrell. You can see the 3-car back up to speed now. No tire rub whatsoever for the Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Trouble, turn 2.
Got trouble up in that second turn for the second time today.
Oh, boy.
And the 88 has gone in backwards hard. That's Kevin Schwantz, world motorcycle champion, and he looks like he's back to two wheels. Racing to the line.
Someone in my chat had said that they knew Kevin,
even across as
or watched Kevin quite a bit.
You know that I
motorcycle
think Kevin
racer.
Schwantz is probably one of the most overlooked heroes in this series, probably in this whole motorsports arena today. He is a world motorcycle champion. If you go to Europe, if he went to Japan, when they introduced him, you'd think Jeff Gordon had walked on the stage. He is
No
a heck
kidding.
of a great driver. Maybe he hadn't cut it in stock cars yet, but when it comes to motorcycles, he is the man.
Can he make it in this
Really?
category?
Not today.
Well, that's getting very close to a motorcycle right there, I tell you.
Back of the car is off for kidding.
Well, I guess it's like having the last name Johnson.
Here in the Busch series. But let me tell you, he is an American. He is a worldwide hero.
Oh, my goodness.
People don't realize that. I don't think they know who Kevin Schwantz is.
On more than one occasion, too.
Yes.
Kevin Schwantz, number 88, has brought out the third caution of the afternoon. It happened in the second turn. Kenseth has remained in front. McLaughlin was the leader as we came back out of that caution a few moments ago. He was immediately shot down, and here's a peek at what happened.
That's funny.
Well, what happened is it looks like he just lost it back there in the middle of turn 2 and backed it up into the outside wall there. Probably just, you know, he's on fresh tires, and I'm telling you, that low air pressure will really make the car spooky.
The United
sometimes.
States has a lot of names for that.
And you said, well, why do they do that? Well, you got to do it because the longer you go, the more it builds up. So you start recommended on these tires to be 45 pounds or 48 pounds in the right front and about 45 in the right rear. You let about 5 or 6 pounds out of those tires.
I
so
have
that
to
when
say
you go
that
10, 15, 20 laps into
back
a run,
when we
you're
raced
back
in
where
that
they're
day,
supposed to be.
and
Eighth place finish
the
down in
sponsorship
Daytona.
was Big Johnson on
Yeah, he's okay.
some of the cars or whatever, that was like giggle, you know, like it was
162 of 300 miles
weird.
have been completed.
Or not weird, but it was unheard of. It was still like you didn't talk about
Jimmy
those
Spencer,
things.
last year's winner, becoming a real factor once
And
again.
when
Talking about
Viagra come
behind
out on a
Kenseth
car,
for the
holy
lead.
smokes, that was a
Earnhardt
big
Jr.
deal
in
too.
third,
Nowadays,
Stewart
we're
in
just
fourth,
plain
Bodine
vulgar and
fifth,
don't care.
Marlin,
I don't know
Purvis,
what it is.
And Buckshot Jones, the top
It's
eight,
just
followed by
everybody's
Trickle and Jarrett.
desensitized,
Jarrett
I
up in 10th,
guess.
and this is the last time we're going to see Dale Jarrett in a Busch Grand National
Trust
car in
me,
Charlotte.
it's
He's
crazy.
got a couple more to do this year, and next year he's going to step out of Busch Grand National, focus only on Winston Cup. So,
Yeah.
ready to restart. Ready
I
to bring
hope
him
we
down.
do.
It'll be Kenseth up on the point.
See
And
this kind of
Spencer ready
racing
to go
again.
to work in that second spot. Earnhardt Jr. remedied the problem, got some additional pounds of air in that tire, and smoke no more. Let's see if he can keep
Green,
it
green,
up now. He's
green.
in
This
third
is, I
spot.
think Dale
And Stewart
Jr. is leading
in the Gibbs
points.
rig.
He's not running
Number
so good. He's having
44
tire
on the
issues,
brake.
obviously. The car my dad's with was in the first lap incidents. One guy lost it on the restart. I don't know, mischief, spun tires, whatever. Clipped him, clipped a bunch of guys, put a bunch of guys out, and they're just limping around the back of the field. About 10 miles an hour slower in the 33. I think they're going to finish 30th, which is a long race for them from lap 1. It's the Kleenex car there with the light blue at the, it's like second to last. They've got no left front nose.
You can see Earnhardt right now under Shane Hall as they head down the back straightaway there, taking that inside line, trying to get that preferred line as they go down into turn 3. Shane Hall's really running pretty well right now.
A lap down.
He's a lap down, but you know he led the race there for a while, and I guess he got out of sync and lost a lap. but his car's pretty
just past halfway.
Kenseth took a heck of a leap when he jumped off that green flag. Stays in front.
Quite a
Here you
few
see Tony
names of
Stewart
people
there.
Dad's worked with at times.
All clear to the number 3 car.
Bessie Nemechek,
Earnhardt Jr.
Fedor.
Very well in 30 car there. You can see he's right there in 4th place, doing a great job. 5th place, pardon me.
He never worked with Martin, but he built some stuff for his kids' go-kart once. Dad's worked with Spencer.
Same in those front 2 positions. About 8 car lengths between
Goodness.
first and second. Kenseth,
McLaughlin, Dillon,
He's having a pretty darn good weekend.
Fuller, LaJoy. Said he didn't work with Benson. Benson's been to our house with Birdie.
Earnhardt Jr. is closing in on Spencer.
Wallace. Both of 2 Wallaces. Nemechek, of course.
Joe Carr, I think, is one of the best stories in racing. Look at this move.
Quite a few names.
Yep.
On the inside of Spencer, down toward the start-finish line, Tony Stewart lines up with Earnhardt. The draft's right up the side of Jimmy Spencer.
Dad never worked with Junior, but he worked with Senior a little with some shock stuff.
Steve Burns, what about Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Well, we saw moments ago that left rear was smoking, but Darrell and Buddy Bacon were exactly right. Once they got a few laps in there to get the air pressure built up, it was okay. In fact, Earnhardt Jr. said to his crew chief, Tony Uri, go tell NASCAR I'm okay. Tell him it's just air pressure, because he didn't want to get black flag. Hey, let's check in now with Alan Bestwick.
Well, let's throw a new little strategic wrinkle into the story of the race as we work toward the checkers. Jimmy Spencer's team thinks they can go to the finish on fuel and does not have to stop again. So if the race were to run without a caution from here to the checkers, maybe Spencer would be able to kind of sneak one on him that way. 2 tires and now maybe an economy run to the checkers. How about that one?
Well, the fuel's the good news. The tires are the bad news. I think I'd rather he can't make it on tires. I think if he going so slow, it wouldn't do him any good.
Stewart to 3rd. Spencer falls to 4th. Bodine stays in 5th. Then we have Sterling Marlin 6th and Buckshot Jones up to 7th. Don't overlook Buckshot Jones.
Boy, here's
overlook that 0-0 Buckshot Jones. Nifty run. He's up in 7th. He started 30th today.
I'll tell you what, there's some guys back in the back here that are sure having a nifty run because they're all over the place.
Well, the race has stabilized a little, and it's right back to the 2 guys on top in the Busch Grand National standing. The 4 races after today. Kenseth getting after Earnhardt Jr. and right now has the position on it. Running first. Ooh, look at this. Buckshot down in the bottom.
Sterling Marlin in the 1 on the outside there.
That's for position for 6. Marlin on the outside and Buckshot down low.
Jeff Provis in the 4 car there.
In 8th.
Boy, I'll tell you one thing. Sterling is not cutting Buckshot any slack.
I think he'd give him a little chrome horn there as they were going down the straightaway just to remind him, yes, I am here.
Seems to be in vogue here today.
If you think back to a couple of weeks ago at Dover when Buckshot got down underneath the car he was trying to pass, he lost the back end of the car. So maybe Sterling remembers that too and trying to help him a little bit.
Hey, look how close these 2 have been all year. I was mentioning earlier about the top 5s, equal in top 10s. DNF is the story. On Earnhardt Jr., he's had 2, but Kenseth right there with 1.
All
and that was
year,
a big
and
one in Dover.
look on the racetrack right now. These 2 guys are battling for points, and the first 3 are just nose to tail as they go down the back straightaway. And it's not that far back to Bodine and Jimmy Spencer.
Bodine and Spencer 4th and 5th.
And you know what's funny about those guys there in the front? You could add up the years they've been racing. It wouldn't even come close to our age, Baker.
Oh, I'm glad
you could see Earnhardt making a move for the lead going down towards turn 1. Tony Stewart looking under Matt Kenseth as they head down into turn 1.
The young guns.
Going to take over in 2nd spot. And again, Kenseth just seemed to ease over like he did a little earlier.
I think that's smart right now. He knows those guys maybe are a little quicker than he is, and he's just racing 1 car. That's all he's got to worry about.
So you have Earnhardt Jr. back in 1st, and Tony Stewart from deep in the field, 33rd starting position. The former Indianapolis Racing League champion who comes to Winston Cup full-time next year for Joe Gibbs, all the way to 2nd spot. He's got to be happy with his day. Take a look at that move another time.
You can see Dale Earnhardt Jr. sets him up as they head down off the corner. He gets that inside preferred line on Matt Kenseth. Moves right on by. As you say, Matt Kenseth right now is not doing anything to get himself in trouble. This is going to be a battle, though. When we come back, I guarantee these guys are going to be going at it.
Yes, Earnhardt Jr. and Stewart first and second here in the All-Pro Bumper to Bumper 300 live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Lap 125, 187.5 miles.
General admission pit passes are available.
Give it to Tony Stewart, number 44.
I'm looking up the cars stuff for this.
He popped out in front, and here's how he did it.
Going down into turn one, you see Tony Stewart looking to the inside. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the outside rolls out of the gas. That's him right on by. Right now, they're running for points, I think, in the 3 car, being very careful not to get themselves into. Oh, Tony Stewart's dropping back.
Trackside parking is sold out. Pit passes.
All of a sudden he was there. All of a sudden he's not there.
You know what that means? We're looking at a gas mileage race, apparently. I think that may mean that he wants to fall back and draft a little bit and save some fuel. They heard Jimmy Spencer say he can make it. Nobody wants to get bitten by that dog, so maybe they're all changing their strategy all of a sudden.
They're at lap 127, 128, 192 miles.
Oh, he gets loose right there. You can see the back of the 44 really go up the racetrack. It took him
Found the edge, didn't he?
Back is what that was.
Yeah. Well, when the cars are
This
tight,
is what I'm looking at here.
About the car being a little tight early on,
The Cars Tour.
You'll have the wheels turn so far to the left
Try
that when
counting.
you're coming out of the corner, it'll actually.
On all of these, I've clicked on what date is it? Cars Tour, October 4th. Okay, that's this Saturday.
He don't have that experience, buddy. He'll try that again.
Oh yeah.
Pit passes are available here.
He's wanting that second place back.
Available for the event.
The folks on the 44 team.
Brian Fraser is Tony Stewart's crew chief.
$45. That's actually not too bad. Damn. My car would make it.
We've been running most of the day trying to work ourselves back to the front, or to the front.
Oh, he's loose
and once we got out in clean air, we just got a little more downforce on the front. He said
Obviously, Tony is talking to him right now, and he's about to say something
Plus
else.
$1.85 processing fee. So it'd be $100 for my son and I to go to the last Cars Tour race. God damn. God damn. It's an hour and 5 minutes from the house.
well, like I said, it's just once we got
Damn.
air on the nose, where we hadn't had air on the nose all day. It's just playing in front end a little more, and he said he's loose when he's not behind the car. So we're going to have to wait and make an adjustment in this last stop here a little bit to tighten him up, so if he does get back out front, or either wait till the last lap pass.
I know I'm being boring about this race. We're already out of it.
Darrell, I saw something on the 44 car, though, that Matt Kenseth knows very well right now. All he has to do is get right up under that corner, and that 44 turns.
Landon posted this. Stay the course. Right. Have fun. Good luck. Have fun. Make sure racing's fun. 4 more posts.
There you see second and third.
I don't
Let's go up
follow
to
him.
first.
Why is that?
See Earnhardt there, that point lead. The 5-point
Whoa.
point lap leader bonus is still up for grabs
Not
today.
here.
And it becomes very important in this
No,
battle.
thank.
Kenseth has led 53 laps.
One of my favorite designs. Yes, it is, Mark.
Latest count.
I think, buddy, what you call the problem with Stewart's car right now would be his Achilles
I don't
heel.
follow these people. Why is this coming on my chart?
The car directly behind it.
Oh, that's pretty. I remember. Oh, he passed away in 2019. Liquidating his painting collection? No. That's an ad.
Cars right here, buddy. They will take your breath away. They look like Tony Stewart, except they look like it all the time.
That took you back to 6th and 7th. The white number, red numeral number 12 of Spencer and Sturman and Marlin right there in 7th. With Jeff Purvis in 8th, McLaughlin in 9th.
I don't understand the hostility. I'm looking for racing.
There he is up in the top 10.
And Elton Sawyer there in the 38 is doing a very, very nice job.
Yeah, they are.
Poor old Elton. He sits out there every weekend and gets in the top 5, top
Well,
10. And he does it so quiet.
racing is slowing down.
He's in 14th.
My notifications.
Giving it a good ride today and well up in the points is Elton Sawyer having a very good year. We'll talk about about that more when we return.
Auction for Landon Hoffman autograph. K1 Glove starts tomorrow.
As we come to lap 140, 210 miles into this race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who won.
They're doing an auction for breast cancer awareness. It was on the Cars tour. Let me bring that one up.
Along into his majority here, becoming a real
This
senior
is
veteran. He's won
Landon
6
Lewis win
races
my
this year.
gloves.
Earnhardt Jr.
Landon Huffman posted a gloves thing.
You can see the interval there between the two.
So anyway, golden bid. Know before you go to Tri-County. Just highlighting the Cars tour stuff because that's what I like. Parking at the Speedway. $5. Grandstands. 4 p.m.
Doing a great job in the 30 car.
Trackside passes sold out.
And just behind him, somebody snuck into the game here. Buckshot
General
Jones.
admission
Yeah, he's
passes.
been coming up there pretty well. I watched him pass several cars, and it looks to me like it.
Passes are only available through pre-sale link.
So the interval doesn't change all that much, even though it kind of goes back and forth.
Pits open 11:30.
Down in the trenches. Here's Mike Hogwood. We'll have a whip around right now, starting with Mike.
All right, and one car to watch out for is
Save that. I'm gonna send that to my kiddo.
Now the story on the 34 car. On the last pit stop, they took 4 tires and fuel. They do not have to stop again in this race. To Alabama.
Well, Tony Stewart says he does have to stop again. If we don't see another caution flag, it'll be about with 20 laps to go in the event. Same for Buckshot Jones, who we just mentioned has snuck up into the top 5. He also will need to come in again before the checkered flag. To Steve Burns.
Alan, it's the same situation down here in Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s pits. Tony Urey Sr., the crew chief, says they figure to stop about lap 175 for gasoline.
Now here's how the field is deployed. McLaughlin is in 6. Stewart in that number 44, who fought his way all the way to the front, has fallen back to 5th. The front 4, Earnhardt Jr., Kenseth, Bodine, and Jones.
Sounds like the tires are wearing really screwy.
He was leading at halfway, and he stayed out on that caution, and everybody else pitted. Then they ran a few laps, and there was another caution. He dove down pit road. Everybody else stayed out that time, so he is out of sync, as we like to say. And boy, that can really pay off if there are no more cautions.
Take a look at Sterling Marlin dipping down on the inside of the number 1, trying to make his way through, working on Stewart in 44.
Sterling Marlin in 7th right now. He's working very
44 in the Lance car.
This is a 3-car battle and a good
The number 1
is
is
right in the middle of it.
Hermie.
Yeah, that little crowd, they have been really doing some hard racing. There's about 5 or 6 of them right there.
You know, Ken, you said the 38 Sawyer was a lap down, but you can tell that he has a very fast race car. When he got a lap down, it was due to some problems.
And he is 4th overall in the point battle at the present
Watch
time.
this.
Has been a great year for Elton Sawyer. Darrell was so right. He's so quiet. You never hear from him.
No.
But he's a good racer.
He is. And I tell you, Kenseth is somebody. We're back up at the front here. I know we're jumping around a little bit here, but Kenseth seems like he can really close in on Dale Jr., but then Dale Jr. either picks it up or something happens because the gap will open back up again.
Look at Purvis in the number 4. He wants to do some
Sterling
business.
Marlin gained the most positions so far. Stewart, Jones, and Fuller.
This race car here, there's only one way to make the back foot slide, and that's to get out of the gas in the center part of the corner or you spin out. So right now, he's really, really loose, and he can't drive the car up the speed.
6th spot belongs to Purvis in the number 4.
Got the field run down there. 13 cars on the lead lap.
He's up to challenge here in the latter moments of this event.
In drag racing, they would call what Tony's doing backpedaling. That's just about what you do.
Dale Jarrett looking on the inside there. Tony
Benson
Stewart,
Griffin.
Yeah, he's been in 9th all day. Or not all day, but past 15 or 20 laps. He hasn't been up to the factor in front, but he's beginning to make his way through.
Okay, 37, 38, 39, 40. They're all out. Okay. Sofita was still chugging along there. Randy LaJoy, too. Both wounded.
Toward lap 150.
Dad was with Base Motorsports, mainly the 33 car, of course, and Bertie was on Randy's car.
Down in the infield for a moment. See you in a moment.
I've been in there a number of times.
Back with you live as we've got one smoking.
Nice quiet
Down to
place.
the bottom, the number 57 that had trouble earlier, Jason Keller.
I was looking directly at him, and the same place he hit the wall just a
My
while
arm is
ago
numb.
in turn 2. Jason Keller
That's not
got
my
in the
left
wall
arm. It's
again.
my,
There's a
I
lot
mean,
of damage to
it's
the
my
right
right.
side, and tires are
My
rubbing
hands.
pretty hard.
Ants all over.
So up in smoke goes the 57, tire smoke. For Jason
Back's
Keller,
a little
marked at his lap
jacked up
153,
today.
no caution on the speedway. Take a look at some of the lead changes.
Working on
that
that
have
awning.
taken place
Oh,
in
I
this
was
event
digging.
today.
Where we backed in our RV, we need to kind of cut the bank back a little bit, and it's going to take a lot of digging. So I dug a 1 by 2 by 3 feet, 2 feet, maybe that much. About 100 pounds of clay out of the bank already. Gosh, they got clay here. Red clay.
Earnhardt Jr. came back through to lead and brought Kenseth with him.
Tony Stewart's
And now
pitting.
you have Stewart back on pit road.
Looks like
and
a-
let's get a report from Alan as to what's happening with Tony Stewart.
Well, just a 4-tire change, Ken. They also had a spring rubber that I think they were going to try and put into the car, but I couldn't see quite if they managed to get it done. He said the car just got way bad loose, so he just had to come in. He was going to get lapped if he didn't. Now what they need to hope for is that the race doesn't get a caution flag before the other leaders pit, so he can get back out on the lead lap and have a chance to win this thing.
I believe he's being shown as a lap down. Stewart coming back out in 16th position.
Yeah, there's just no way he can hang on to that car. I know it seems impossible to be able to go up and take the lead and then have a car that you can't drive. But that's how sensitive these cars are. You get a mismatched set of tires on that thing, and you have no choice but to pit.
And he didn't come back up to speed. He's fallen to 23rd. Here's where the story is. Earnhardt and Kenseth battling with 4 races to go after today in the Grand National Championship duel this year. And it's a North Carolina favorite. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in front. And from the north where we got Johnny Benson front out of the Michigan area. You've now got a Wisconsin runner in Matt Kenseth in second. Take a look here. That's the number 4 diving down the inside Purvis, and he is trying to move around that number 40, which has gone a lap down.
Sterling Marlin's taking a look on the outside as they head down the front straightaway.
LePage in that number 40 had such a good run at the outset, led some laps at the top of the day. Now he finds himself having to struggle. LePage well back in the
I've been taking some videos of the countryside here.
Sterling has had a really good day.
I've uploaded them, but I haven't watched them to see.
The car's running well, and he's right there.
They still got them private, so I gotta check and see that they're okay.
Pretty darn good run, actually.
That was an error.
You see Sterling Marlin now has about a half a car left. Now you see Purvis pull back even.
It's gonna be a busy day today for me. After this, I'm going to run to town, get some groceries. Whoops, you're out of the box, babe.
Shane Hall. Doesn't help your day. He's had a pretty good run going. Had himself an opportunity to lead this race for a while, and he came back out of the caution period. It's all for not right now. Earnhardt first, Kenseth second, Bodine third, McLaughlin fourth.
They're gonna have some sort of penalty, a stop and go or something for that thing.
He's in 6th spot.
Little drink of water. You see the visor up on his full face helmet there, getting a little water.
Shane Hall coming back out as you saw him in there.
I guess that was a quarter panel that he tore up when the wheel came off.
Earnhardt Jr. First place, 160, 40 laps to go. Looked like he was going to give that up. Kenseth let him go.
What that looked like with the Bama car, looked like they did a tire stop and drove away, and the left rear guy was not done.
7th win.
It really seems like when Junior gets
Or had a gun jam or something, and the jackman drops it, they go. No tire.
Stay pretty close as long as there's some traffic around, but once they get sorted out, he really drives off and leaves it.
He's got him covered by 2 2/10 of a second for the moment. Kenseth back to second, Bodine third, McLaughlin fourth, Jones, LePage, Purvis, Martin, Jarrett, and Blaney the top 10.
have about 39 laps to go.
200 to be run. And we've got some new ingredients in this course.
Yes, we do.
Spice coming up here. Mike Hogwood has a story that could change this
There's
whole
a
race
big
around.
reunion at Westboro this Sunday. I was planning to go all along until everything changed 2 months ago. Facing facts, that's not going to be possible. Just is what it is. I'll have to try to attend another event.
Well, you know, that would be my story.
Hopefully Dad gets away to get there. We were going to drive up from Florida. I tried to, about 2 weeks ago, suggest that they drive to here and my mom stay with my son and I drive the rest of the way with Dad, but it did not fly well. And also, you know, my dad is 82, 83.
So the advantage is very much Earnhardt's. He is having a good day here at
81.
Charlotte. And if he pulls this
81.
off, the last time we
Yeah,
saw
I think he's
Busch
81.
national regular winners,
Either way,
Martin and Jimmy Spencer dominated
somebody
recent. You gotta
his
go back to
age
when that Ford of Bill
in their
Davis just tore it
routine,
up with
and
that
he's
kid
very healthy
named
right
Gordon
now
in 92 when he
and
won
doing
both of
well.
them. He won in May, came back again and won the autumn race as well.
Something, I guess, you know, quality of life's not something to mess with. So maybe he can videotape up there to somebody or something. I don't know.
He's just about a turn behind the leader right
But
now. If he does not
it
have
is
to
what
stop,
it is.
and Earnhardt has to make
It's our old home track, like the earliest home track that I went to when I was really little was Brookline, but this was like the second one. It was like Connecticut Driveway is the first track I remember being at. I was a few months old, and then I remember Brookline Speedway. I was a couple years old, and I remember Westboro. I was probably 5 when I first went there. And I went there all the way up until after I graduated high school. I drive there myself. I loved Westboro. We all got our start there.
Wow.
We'll stay right with him as he pulls in.
I think Bodine's going to be there.
Steve Burns awaiting Matt Kenseth on
Younger
pit road.
Boucher brother,
How about
Kenny.
it, Steve?
All the Fuller brothers. Four-tire stop for Kenseth. Only one tank of gas. Or one can of gas. Crazy because the 19-second stop you can get 2 cans, but in 14. But a lot of this track depends on your wedge and balance, and the gas is one way to play with that.
So in the shakeout, Earnhardt stays first. Bodine now second, 5 seconds
Earnhardt,
back.
Bodine, McLaughlin, Jones, LePage, and they got 28 laps to go.
Marlin to 7, Blaney to 8, Spencer and Dillon the top 10.
The problem I have with 4 tires right now coming in first, if he'd have let Earnhardt come in first, that's what I'd have done to see what he was going to do. And if he took 4, I'd have took 2. Now Earnhardt's going to take 2, and he's going to have a huge lead.
Dale Jarrett apparently ran over an area.
Only if he can gain that amount of time on the track. I mean, when you put on new tires, you got about 5 to 7 laps that you can gain milliseconds on the leader. So if you always time you, time the leader, time you, time the leader, you'll always know kind of where you're fitting in. And if you need to gain 5 seconds to catch the leader, pit early.
After that pit stop for a 4-tire change.
Because those few seconds that you're going to be on good tires, you might catch him in a yellow come out.
At the end of this race, as you see Jarrett taking that quick penalty and coming back out. He had been in 13.
Works both ways. You know, if a yellow come out, then you're hosed. But you want all the pit stops to be done. Nobody wants to be that guy that brings out the caution when half of y'all ain't pitted yet. Who won?
Hey, race fans, Budweiser asks, who won? October 4th, 1997, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Joe Nemechek in car
Spencer.
87 started on the pole. 5, Jimmy Spencer in number 20 took over the top spot. Four-time Charlotte Grand National winner Mark Martin once again showed
97.
power in
I was
car
there in
number 60.
97, so I'm
But
trying to
who
remember.
won? Here's the list of contenders. The answer
Spencer.
when we return. Mark Martin just didn't have enough to beat Jimmy Spencer. In a classic Charlotte duel, Spencer and Martin battled over the last 13 laps, with Spencer finally pulling away to his 7th career Grand National win. Who Won was brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you.
We're back at lap 180, and the story has been in the pit.
I still live
Those
near
leaders
Charlotte.
have been making those pit stops.
I'm
Let's do a quick pit whip
hour and
around
15
to give
minutes
you the
away.
picture as we go to the final 20 laps. Here's
Wow,
Steve
so
Burns.
Tri County is like 10 minutes closer than Charlotte. We could either go to Tri County or we can fix the camper. And I think we need to fix the camper because I can watch Tri County maybe if RJ films it. Videos. He did last time. Lugnuts might too. Lugnuts production or RJ will be on Huffman Racing Channel. Both of them will cover Tri-County because Flow Racing isn't, I don't think. Wait a minute. Yes, they will because it's Cars Tour. Never mind. Okay, it's on Cars Tour, it's on Flow. I was thinking the weekly Tri-Counties are the ones the Huffmans and Lugnuts films, but Lugnuts might still film some stuff there. And Huffman might film some stuff if Brett Suggs wants to, or RJ wants to.
Jimmy Spencer is running in second, a considerable distance back.
But I bet they won't because of the Cars Tour. There's all
Running in
these
third, Mike
stipulations.
Dillon in the number 72. He's expected to.
But that's this weekend for under $100 plus gas.
Following him is Earnhardt.
God, such a decision, Stone.
In 6 is Burton.
We'll see how it
In
goes.
7th is
We'll think
Jones. 8th
gotta
is now
think about
LePage.
it.
9th
Hi,
is
Stone. You
Martin,
gotta go out?
and 10th is Purvis.
You gotta go party?
So McLaughlin stays
She
up
knows
there
what I'm
pretty
thinking. She
much
can read
by
my mind.
himself. The issue is that
She
they calculated
wants to go out, but I
correctly,
don't want her to
and
go out
Mike
till she gets her
McLaughlin stay in
drops in her
front. He is
eyes. So I'm
definitely
gonna
notched the
do
thing
that.
back
She
when he's
knows
not running as
because I
quickly
just
as
looked
he
at her and
was.
she just put her
Trying
head
to be
down.
a little
She knows what I'm
economical
saying.
out
I'm
here.
rubbing her with my foot to say, "Good girl, get your eye drops." She's Plot Hound, which is a Basset Hound made breed, kinda, and a Carolina Mountain Dog
There you
and
see the
a
17.
Basset Hound.
It's being shown
Maybe
in fourth.
Don't you go away.
Got a
Okay,
lap
I'm
to
gonna do
make
her
up on those
drops.
front
Be right
three.
back.
McLaughlin, Spencer, Dillon. The trio that have not pitted at the present time. The others all have.
15 laps to go. You're holding your breath. I know the 34 car is that, man, please, no caution.
And the other thing you're hoping and praying is they did get every bit of the fuel they could in with the tank of that 34, because if they calculate that it's going to run out on the last lap and they didn't quite top it off, boy, that could be trouble.
Mike McLaughlin out of Waterloo, New York, inching ever closer to perhaps his 5th Busch win. We're back with you, and we get down to 12 laps to go. You have Mike McLaughlin, Jimmy Spencer, and the number 72, the surprise in the field, Mike Dillon, all 1, 2, 3, a lap in front of the field, trying to go the distance, trying to make it the entire way. There's Katie.
Yeah, there's Katie. I know she's a nervous wreck. They're engaged. They're going to get married here
To
pretty
Mike
soon.
McLaughlin.
Yeah. I guess we ought to say who Katie is, shouldn't we?
No wonder she stays so trim.
Yeah, it's Katie Gregory, and her and Mike are engaged to be married very shortly.
He last pitted on lap 106 to McLaughlin. Spencer last pitted on lap 97. I can't believe he's going to make it.
Hey, it's going to be tough for Spencer, but right now it's
Had to let the
looking pretty
puppy
darn good
out.
for Mike McLaughlin.
See, Earnhardt Jr. there, just a few car lengths from getting himself back in on the tail end of the lead lap on McLaughlin also.
Kenseth 4th, Earnhardt Jr. 5th.
For Earnhardt, that's important because should a caution fly, then he'll be on the lead lap, and then he would be able to race for the win.
Get it all the way around, make it up. Here he comes, trying to close in and get around that number 34 car, Mike Chief, on that car. I imagine he's just as nervous as Katie.
And there's nothing wrong with the 34. You see him off the pace a little bit. What he's doing, he's just putting a little bit of fuel in escrow right now by not running the car at top.
So Earnhardt Jr. has made up the lap. He is now in that lead lap.
Yeah, McLaughlin is actually very happy to have these two. These are two good cars and good to draft off of.
One thing he does not want to see right now is a caution flag.
No, sir. No, he would. That would jeopardize his situation dramatically.
Okay, it's down to the end, down to the wire. 7 laps to go for Mike McLaughlin. That's really good for that guy.
Behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Kenseth.
Some of these guys, like McLaughlin and them, they entered entered the sport a little bit after, like, money became so big. So big.
Great 7-time modified champion Richie Evans. Looks like him in style, has that same sort of casual smile. Fine racer.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. just got by Dillon there to take over the 4th spot.
Going to stay with you the rest of the way in this one. Earnhardt Jr. closes down Dillon. Kenseth now 3rd. Spencer 2nd. McLaughlin 1st. There's your leader.
I believe it. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Spencer is still holding on out there. They will have 5 laps to go this time by. 5 laps remaining.
Golly.
Fiedler will finish 31st. Still running, but, you know, they're like in top 10 in points, because, and 5 races to go, it kind of stinks. There's the Mike Dillon red on black car. In 5th, that car ran good. That red on black car really ran well.
That's in jeopardy because the car is not up to full song.
You know, it's funny how things go in it. There's McLaughlin.
Fuller's running 15
there's some money involved
in a Gibbs car. Jason Gibbs, which
strategy comes in later on, gets fuel and tires, and now he's going to win the race.
JD's brother. I think Jason might
As we get to the end, Spencer
be Ty's dad. I'm not really sure. I didn't know that family. My dad did, but I didn't.
You know, Spencer he's going to have over 100 laps, right at 100 laps on his fuel. If
he just crosses the line, about a half lap behind McLaughlin.
And here goes our leader by one more time.
Countdown continues. 197 complete of 200.
Daryl, you've been there before on these economy runs like this. You have 1 eye on the gauge and 1 on the racetrack.
There's absolutely, it's a great feeling. You cannot even think about winning a race for worrying about running out of fuel.
Kathy No Nails Gregory holding on up there. Oh, gosh. Long way to go, but a win at Charlotte. In this 25th
Just for, like, knowledge sense to the wives and the girlfriends and fiancés or whatever really sacrifice a lot for the guys to race, the crew members, wives, everybody. It's a big sacrifice, but it's also a big deal. Like when you get to go to Charlotte and stuff, you get to cheer on the team and stuff, or work, you know, hospitality or something, because it's nearby. So there's a lot of good things that come out of the sport, and especially like someone like this that I've watched grow up like I did through all the modified racing, and you know, that's a grueling. Modifieds back then didn't race once a week. We raced 4 nights a week. So it was really like something that meant a lot to us. I mean, we didn't know anything but racing, really.
Sponsor this season,
and the racing community was basically your second family, or your graduating class, or whatever you want to call it. You hung out with them every single week, 4 or 5 nights a week. So that was a good win for them.
McLaughlin has done it. The pride of Waterloo, New York has won.
I think that's a northern Busch team as well, 34.
Good driving and some good calculating, some real strong strategy.
Database, so I still got it up. Yeah.
It'll be fun to meet him.
McLaughlin, Frank Cece. Yeah, Cece Welliver, that's a New England team.
Hey, Katie,
go to Mike Hogwood.
We're here with Steve Helwig. That was some call to not bring him in, and then you got a caution right when you needed it.
At that point in time, that's what we had to do. We were committed. We didn't have that good a car. We had to go for the mileage. Thanks to Ron Hutter and all our sponsor people. We did what it took.
All right, tell us now, how close was it at the end?
I'll let you know in about 5 minutes. I say we didn't have another lap to go.
It was close, but this is one happy crew down here celebrating a win at Charlotte.
Biggest win they've ever had. Steve Helwig wins our Plastic Coat Award as the best crew chief out here today. He has got to be excited. Really contained himself pretty well, Darrell. Much better than you've done in the past.
I'd have been jumping up and down, baby.
We'll be back to see the folks jump up and down in victory lane in a moment. All right, here he comes. Out of the car, the champion at Charlotte is Magic Shoes McLaughlin.
Oh my gosh.
Now that's what I wanted to see. That's
Holy
excitement
smokes.
right there. Way to go, Mikey.
Ended right on top of Waldo Wilson.
Congratulations. Nice.
All right, I think
he's happy.
Yeah.
I think
that
that's
was
pretty
about
You can do that when you weigh 100.
diving.
Oh, I give him a 9.8 on that.
You can do that when you weigh 135. That Ben Spencer ain't to kill somebody.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, Mike, tell us about it. How in the world did you make it on gas mileage?
Hey, these guys, I'll tell you, when they stayed out to lead the lap, I was like, well, I don't know. Hey, Ma, Dad's home watching. Dad, this one's for you, buddy. I said, boy, I don't know if I give up that track position to lead. They went for the laps. They went for the strategy, fuel mileage. The boys in the pits won it. This Gould Pump Chevrolet was awesome. Watson Dillard GMC. Goodyear. Ron Hutter, you told me I could turn it. We put some gear to her today. She was awesome.
Well, Katie, step in here. This is his fiance. Hey, Darrell and Buddy, we're wondering, when the heck are you guys getting married?
We're trying to figure that out yet. Pretty quick.
We're running away.
All right, congratulations.
You're running away.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked them when they're going to get married about 6 months ago, and they told me the same thing then, so I don't know what's going on there.
It's the old schedule deal. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
It's the old schedule deal. Yeah, we've got to work it into the schedule. Let's talk about it at the end of the season. Well, we got a lot of
Waddell
practice
Wilson
to do.
there in the
We'll
blue
talk about it
shirt.
maybe in February. You know that deal. Hey, DW, thanks for being with us.
All right, guys, I'll see you in a little while. I'm going to be down helping you out with Happy
Max
Hour.
McLaughlin is Mike's
Wait to
son.
see. We're going to
He
talk to
races
Dale
today,
Jr. and Kent
so
when we come back. We've enjoyed
nowadays.
talking to you. Can't wait to hear
So
you
anyway,
rest
that's a good way to end that one. I'll clip that off and I'll raid out. While I raid out, I'll play you a video that's still on my private list, but I just made it this week, just the area, so enjoy that while I raid out. Good old North Carolina countryside, North Carolina mountains. It's where I live now. It's home, always been home. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.